making this dress for my daughter, and at this point in time I started making with the granny squares, and before I got too far I wanted to show you how I'm doing it because I really want to get it on camera for you. So what I used is 4 different colors. What I'm using is 4 different colors, and this is all soft microfiber. You can probably find this on my shop. You can check. It changes depending on what time you're watching this video. And with these 4 colors, I'm able to get 6 granny squares that are different using just these 4 colors. So I'm able to get 6 with the pink all the way around it, 6 with the white all the way around it, 6 with the yellow all the way around the edge, being the main outside color, and then 6 with the red. So each of these you should have 6 with the yellow around, 6 with the pink around, and 6 unique ones with each color. As you can see, for my 4 colors, I have 2 centers that are yellow, 2 centers that are pink, and 2 centers that are white. And then of course the next color is always alternating, with the red being the end one. So you can do your grannies however that you like, but I'm switching after each row to get as much out of my color as I can. Now I want to show you, well, if you want to know about the yarn, I'm using microfiber, and this is 3-ply for the US and 8-ply for Australia. And I've got 3 skeins of each color that I wanted to use for the top of the dress. And of course I got red for the top as well, but red I decided I wanted to make the skirt of my dress too, so I got 2 more of the red. So I actually got 3 skeins of the red and only 1 skein of the yellow, the pink, and the white. A quick correction, I went ahead and I had to go and get another skein of this, so it's going to actually be 4 skeins of the red and 1 skein of the rest. So and when you put them together, no rhyme or reason, I did try to mix it up some, but when I made like my my strap, I didn't keep in mind that here it was going to be connected, so it got similar. This is like, of course it's not the same, it's red and then white, and then this is red and then the pink, but it's similar enough to where it's too similar. So it's something that you can mess around with and make sure that you get the right color. But I'm going to be showing you now how to make the granny square and change colors with it, and how to sew them together. So first off, you need to grab a color. Let's start with pink. You're going to be using 3 colors per little granny square. The size needle that I'm using is 3 millimeter, and this was given to me by my mother-in-law's mother. So I have no idea where she got this or how to get another one. But for the US, it says it's size C or D. There's no 3 millimeter, but there's like a 2.75, and then there's a 3.25, but there's no size 3. So you can use either one and try and see how the size goes for you. It's going to be so slight, I would probably use a D and do a 3.25. So what you do to start making your grannies is you want to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to slip stitch in this beginning chain, just like that, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then now working in this hole that you just created, you want to work 2 more double crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Now you want to chain 2, 1, 2, then again do 3 double crochets worked in the center. 1, 2, whoops, 2, and 3. And then of course, after your set of 3, you want to chain 2 again. And you're repeating this 2 more times. So you do another set of 3 double crochets and then chain 2. And then you should do one more time, your last set. You'll be doing this a total of 4 times. And as you can see, you have 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, and you'll create your 4th corner as you end. Now instead of chaining 2 at the very end of this, you only want to chain 1, then find the top of your beginning chain 3 and slip stitch in the top of the chain. And by slip stitching, you create that second chain that you needed there. So what I do is I cut my excess little tail there that I have, and then leaving myself a little bit of tail, I cut it, leaving your hook still in your loop and everything. Grab your next color, and just make sure this isn't the ones. See, I have my other ones here that I'm working. Can't see them here. So let's say I want to make yellow be my main on the end of this one. So I have my pink, so I can choose white or red as my next color. I just can't choose yellow because I want my yellow to be on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose red just like this one, but this one has white in the center, so it won't be the same. So you get a little bit of your tail here, and all I do is just fold it in half and slip this through your loop like this. Then you want to pull your color, your tail here, tight, and that will secure your loop. Now find the big yarn again, and I'm holding my loop with my finger so that it won't, come undone while I get my hand ready to work. Then you can hold on to that loop again, and now you want to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now if you have any loose bit here, as a loop is loose or something, the main color, you can just pull it again tight. Now I like to work over my my tails, but if you want to have a really good garment that doesn't have any tails that are loose, then you can always make these tails long enough to be worked in with the tapestry needle later. But that's going to be a lot of work. But it's up to you, depending on how good of a garment you want to make. So yarn over, and now you want to go into this first corner right here. Go right into that corner and do a double crochet. Yarn over, and in that same space, do a double crochet. Now that's going to be half of your corner. You'll work the other half when we come all the way back around again. I should say we're going to be coming this way. So when we get back up to this last space here, we'll finish our square. So you want to chain 1, and then in the next square, in the next corner, you're going to put 3 double crochets. We're only going to be working in these spaces, not in any of the stitches. Granny square is always working in the space. So I got my 3 double crochets, chain 2, which creates that big space in the corner, and then working in the same space, do 3 more double crochets. And that's your corner. Now chain 1, move over here to the next corner and do the same thing. You'll be putting 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then another 3 double crochets, all worked in the same stitch, exactly like you just did here. And you can do that for this corner, then chain 1 after this corner is complete. Then move on to this corner, do that corner, chain 1, and then I will meet you back here and show you how to end in this last corner. Finished my last corner here, and I chained one, and now I'm ready to work in this corner where I started. Now in this corner where you started, you want to go ahead and put your next 3 double crochets to finish the corner. Now after your 3 double crochets to end, you want to only chain 1 and then slip stitch in the top of the chain 3, and this will create your second chain that you need. Now again, leaving your project on your hook, cutting your yarn, you want to grab your next color, which I decided I wanted it to be yellow, so I'm going to get my yellow. So again, we're going to attach the yarn the same way. Just, you can see how you just fold a little part right there in half, and which creates this kind of a loop here, and that's what you're going to grab with your hook, and you're going to feed that through your now loop. Pull your other color, which in this case is red, pull it tight, and then I put my finger over my loop, holding my loop into place while I get my yarn ready to work with. Now you can pull everything tight, and you can chain 3, and then pull, make sure everything is good and tight. Now again, you'll be working in this first corner again, and you're going to start it the exact same way by putting 2 double crochets in this corner. The beginning chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so you essentially just made your 3 double crochets in the first corner, half of your corner. Then you chain 1 and you move over to the center space that you have here, and you'll put 3 double crochets there too. And I'm working over my tails as I go. Then you chain 1 after the set of 3, and you move over to your next corner and do your corner space like you did before. 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets, all worked in the same stitch. And then you're ready to move over, so you'll chain 1, go into the next middle space here, and in all middle spaces you only want to put 3 double crochets, then chain 1, and you're ready for the next corner. So continue that all the way around, and I'll see you when you get to the end. Again, the very last corner, I did my 3 double crochets in that corner, and we started doing our first 3 double crochets in this corner. You want to chain 1 and slip stitch in that top beginning 3 chain, and that creates our second chain. Then you want to chain 1 and cut your yarn, and then you just pull up and then pull it to tighten, and then you're done. That is how you'll make all your granny squares, switching colors. And like I said, I went through and I made 6 of each color using with the border, like this one, all red. And then of course I did all with the yellow. So what I did is I made 6 of each one of these, all different. And then I started doing my sewing, because then you actually have some grannies to actually work with. So I want to show you how I was doing my sewing. Let's try these two. They're different enough. Okay, so what you want to always do is, these are the front sides. Try to get one in the center. Here we go. These are the front sides. So, and when they're facing you like this, then what you do is you just fold one over the other. So now you should have backside facing you and backside facing you. And this is what it'll be like when you sew. Always make sure you have the backside facing you, because you don't want your sewing to show in the front part. And you can see, I'm going to turn mine inside out here so you can see it a little better what I'm talking about. I'm sewing with red because I plan on making the skirt of the dress red. And as you can see, it's single crochet, a row of single crochet all the way down, and I'm connecting my grannies as I go. I'm connecting 2 grannies together as I move down. What I did for my strap, and this is what I'm going to show you now, is essentially you can start by making your straps first. So I folded my 2 and I got my red yarn. Get your slip knot. Get a little closer for you. Now you want to start with one of these stitches of the corner. You chain 2, so there should be a chain. 1 and 2. I just use one of these chains, but you want to go in the very corner. So pick one of the ones you think is more of the corner one. And then here, where you have your slip knot or whatever, that's your second chain. Always, because when you do a slip knot, it creates your second chain, then you chained 1 and you ended. So you could either use that space or the one before it, and I'm going to use the one before it just because it's cleaner. And I'm only going in one of the stitches, not under both of them. I'm only using one. The reason why is because on the other side you can see how it leaves this little border of the other unused stitches here, and then on the other side. This kind of leaves a nice touch. So I'm only going through the top loop. Now making sure again that your grannies are facing wrong side. I have my hook in the corners of both. I'm going to pull up a loop through both of those, and then I'm just going to single crochet. That's a single crochet attachment. Now I like to work over my tails as I go, and this corner actually has one of the tails plus my attaching yarn tail. So those two I'm going to be working over. But for the tutorial, it's easier for you to see without me doing it. So I'm going to show you without working over, but you work over. So again, I'm going only through the top loop of this one, and then the top loop of the next one. Well, that's my string. This one. And then do a single crochet. Then again the next one. Top loop only. Top loop only of the other one. This one, the back loop, is closest one to you. And then the other granny, the back loop is the farther one. So you'll be picking up the front one here, the closest loop to you here, and then the farther one away on the other side. Leaving those 2 middle loops alone to create the look. You can use many different tactics of grabbing the loop. Like you can use your hook to grab it, and then the other one to push. Whatever it takes just to get those 2 loops and make sure that it's lined up corner to corner to make sure that you're getting a good even sewing. I always prefer to use this single crochet method every time I join squares, because no matter how well I think I've got my sewing done, they always eventually come loose in time. So I would just rather have one whole row of single crochets, keeping it tight. So I'm going to keep working down all the way down, and I'll see you in a moment. And it's very important that you take it all the way to the chain here, all the way to the end. You do not want to work in the very corner spaces. You don't want to go in this corner space and the other corner space, because if you look on the other side, it creates this big stitch on the end. So you don't want to go through the corner spaces, but you can go through the very corner chain. Make sure that you go through the corner, just like you begin a chain here, you can end a chain here. And considering this one we went through the closest chain of the chain 2 here, we still have a chain at the bottom here where we can connect later on when we go through the whole circle. And you can see this is the stitch that we have. Looks nice and uniform. No big stitches in the corner spots here. And that's what you're looking for. So just take your time and do your sewing from one corner chain to the next corner chain. And when you've gotten two together, you can connect your next, and I will show you how to do that. But first I want to tell you, when you're doing your strap for your dress, you do 4 in a row. So you have 2 together, so you want to do 2 more on each side of these. And then you're done with your strap. Make 4 grannies connected twice, and then those 2 will be your straps. It's going to be easier to attach them when they're already attached than later on. So I recommend you doing that first, and then you can start connecting your pieces across the top. What I did is I connected 1 single crochet all the way. This is my straps, obviously. I had my 4 granny squares and my straps, and I just connected 1 strap to this side of the granny square and went all the way down, and then connected my other strap. I had a square. I'll be showing you this mostly in pictures because I've already created this spot, so I'll make sure I'll show you all the pictures now. But as you can see, I only have 2 loose at the top. So out of my 4, 1 of those straps are here and the other part of the strap is here. It's actually part of the body of the dress, because what I did is I took my 4 granny squares that I had made in a row and I just lined it up next to this one. So this one is my strap of 4, and then I just fold it in half like this, and then you can just continue on with your sewing. In the center. So I had 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So it's going to be 2 here, 2 here. Then I'll move these over a little bit more, and it'll be 2 here, 2 here. So you should have 4 squares here in the center making the neck. So you have a total of 4 squares at the bottom, 4 squares on the side, 4 squares on the top, 4 squares on the bottom. I'm sure I'll have a picture to show you. And then once you've got all those done, you won't need to add any more on these 2 middle ones on the side. You'll just have those 2 just be by themselves like this. And then you'll fold it in half, which is what I did here. I just folded it in half. And then just like I showed you here, I want to show you how you connect the next set of granny squares. So once you have these 2 together, you want to make the most of your row. So you're going to be connecting 2 more together. So you're going to take your next one here that's different, and then the next one here that's different. And these look good. So again, I'm going to fold these on top of each other so you have 2 negative sides. And since I want this red one to be on the bottom, I want it to be on the bottom here. Then I'll just put this one on top so it can unfold like that. So I'm going to do that. Let's go ahead and fold this one over. So when you're ready to attach the next one, you want to find this very corner chain again. Let me get just a little closer. Find this corner chain again on this side, just like you did on the other side of this one. Put your hook through it. Then find the very corner chain of this one, just like that. And then you'll do a single crochet again. And that's how you've connected this row. And then again, you'll line up your corner to corner, make sure everything's good, and you'll only be going back loop to back loop, single crocheting down to attach. And if you have any tails, then you can work them over this row. So you'll continue to do that when you're done. Again, it will unfold like this, and you'll have 4 pieces, just like that. I was connecting these 4 together. That's what I did with this one. I just put another granny square on here and just sewed right along the sides, and that's how I did my 4 that was in front. Then I just went ahead and I added 1 more granny on this side and 1 more granny on this side to give you a total of 10 granny squares together. You have 4 here, 4 in the back, 2 on the end. You have a total of 10 sewn together. And these, as you can see, they're folded in half. So after that, I'm going to add another row of 10 granny squares. And depending on how I like the look of that, I may add more. Like I said, I'm kind of making this tutorial before I've completely finished the dress, so that you can actually see more of an idea of what I'm actually doing. So that's it. I guess I will come back here when I've got more of the dress made. I wanted to show you, it's another day, and I was making my 20 squares that I needed for my second part. As I showed you before, you made your straps and then you connected your straps. I was showing you how I crocheted just all along the top, making the straps. And, I'll probably be showing you most with pictures, but of course you've already seen it already. And I crocheted the lines like this, the same as I did that I showed you on camera already. Okay, so now once you've got all your rows, I just turned it inside out now because it's just easier to work with. You now have this other direction where they're open. I'll get a little closer. See, you just did all these, and now if you turn it, we're ready to start crocheting this way, this direction. So what I did, let me back up more because this is too close. What I did is I just folded in half here where I need to crochet next. Then you get your yarn. Got my red yarn here. And what I'm doing here is I get this part folded in half where I can work with. This is the bottom that's open. I'm finding one corner of this one and one corner of this one, the equal corner, one of the chains, just like you were doing before. So you're going to align it the best way you can, and this is the chance to peekaboo in here, see if there's any loose tails, and if there is, pull them out, because then you can work over them as you work your way down. When you get down to a place where you've got a cat or corner place here, I just go ahead and slip stitch into this single crochet I've got going this way, just to bring me on top of it. Actually, single crochet, it doesn't matter. Single crochet, slip stitch, just to bring you on top of that, so that you can find the next 2 corners and keep going. And you'll do that all the way until you get to the top, and then you can slip stitch here and then chain 1 and cut your yarn, and then you use your tapestry needle and then hide your tail. And I also wanted to tell you, because I forgot, around this top, after you do your first single crochet to attach all of them, then I went ahead and did 1 more single crochet all the way around, just because I wanted to have it look more of a thicker. I tried it on my daughter, and this neck piece was still a bit too big. It's like it was falling off her shoulders, so I went ahead and I did some extra rows around the edge. So what I did is you do your first row when you're connecting your squares together to create your 4 squares in the center. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 2 here, 2 here. So your 6 grannies that create your neck piece. That will be your row 1. And then you will do 2 more rows of single crochet just plain old single crochet. So you'll have 3 rows of single crochet. Then I did 3 more rows where every time I got to a corner, I would do a single crochet in the corner. Then I would single crochet down until I got to the next corner, and then I'd do a single crochet decrease here. Then I'd single crochet all the way down to this next corner and do a single crochet decrease here, and then all the way down back to the beginning to this first corner and do a single decrease there. So I did 4 single crochet decreases in each corner. And if you feel like you need to do more than that, like it's like mine is kind of coming up a little bit on the sides here. I haven't got to try it on my daughter, but I think it should be fine. But if it's not, then I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 decreases in the corners. And I showed you earlier, and I didn't make any alterations here. She liked it the way it was, and it also, because it does kind of go cat a corner like that a little bit, it falls a little off her shoulder so that these aren't so, you know, uniform right up here like that. It kind of goes down a bit and it kind of falls. So it turned out pretty nice. She really, really likes it. But we'll just have to see. As you know, I'm kind of doing this tutorial as I go. So I'm trying to give you guys more of an idea on how this design process goes, in case it's something that you're ever interested in doing yourself, because I really think you can. This is a really, really simple project. It's just granny squares and single crochets and double crochets. You can do this. Now, the thing I did for the arm here is I decided I didn't want it to go under her arm, because when you put on this ruffle under your arm kind of folds on it, and it can be annoying. And I was worried about that. So what I did is I started in this corner of my armhole, and I just did 2 single crochets in each stitch, and I just went all the way down until I reached this bottom of the armhole again. So just the straps you're working on. The actual piece here, this granny, you do not work on that. I got to the end and I chained 3, and then I just started working back down this way. Just a double crochet in each stitch around for the next 2 rounds. So after my increase row, my very first one where I put 2 double crochets in each stitch, at the end of the row I just chained 3 and put 1 double crochet in each stitch. And I went all the way down till I got to the very end here. Again, I did a double crochet in the chain 3 here, and then I just chained 3 and then continued my 1 double crochet in each stitch around till I got up to here. I just did 2 rows with just 1 double crochet. So it's a total of 3 rows. So you got your decrease row, your increase row, and then just your 1 double crochet in each stitch for the next 2 rows. And that was all I did for these sleeves to get these this kind of ruffle look up here. And you can go ahead and do it on the next one as well. See, for me, it would be here. I would just work from here to here, then stop and turn, not working in this section, and just coming back and forth 3 times. And that's it. That's all I did to make that sleeve. You don't have to. You can leave it like this, but I wanted just to add that cute little bit there on the end. And that's just a little idea that you could do, not putting it under the arm, just keeping it on top. I just wanted to show you, like I showed you in the beginning of the video, I had to go ahead and go back and get 1 more, so I ended up having to use 4 of these. And since it was a bit too short, so I I decided I needed to get one more skein. So I got my one more skein. So I used a total of 4 of these and 1 of all the other colors that I used up here. So this is all that was left when I got to the end of my row, and I realized there's no way I have enough yarn for one more row. So that was it. That's where I ended my dress, and it ended up, the whole skirt from here to the end is exactly 22 centimeters. And 22 centimeters in inches is 8.66. So it's a little more than 8.5 inches. So just do the same thing I did. Just keep crocheting until you get to a point on your skein that you just don't have anymore, and then that's it. If you want a longer skirt, then obviously you can go and get a 5th color of your main color. But I only used 4 red, which is my main color here, and I only used 1 skein of the rest. So, and that's it. And this is Lily. She's gonna demonstrate the skirt of this dress. Okay, Lily. Action. Spin all the way around in a circle. Whee! She finally got her little turning dress she's been asking for. And she's happily turning around like crazy now today. Whee! Okay. Thank you, Lily. Love you. So that is it. That is how you make the tutorial for the granny square spinning dress. I haven't really made it, I haven't really give it a name yet. But right now it's a spinning skirt dress, so I want to put twirly or something in there, so I'll figure it out and put it in there. Also, the granny squares here, they have these little tails that keep popping out, which makes me wish I would have went ahead and made them longer and just, you know, worked it in. As much of a pain in the butt that it is, it may be worth for you to go ahead and do that. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.